One of my favourite things to play around with in photography is getting great in-camera looks. Recently it's been LUTs with my LUMIX cameras, but today I decided to grab one of my Fujifilm cameras instead, load in some recipes and take them for a test drive. I have created so many of my own recipes over the last number of years, which you can check out on my website, but for today I thought I would find some recipes created by other photographers. After looking around online, I stumbled across Fujifilmsimulations.com, which is a website that photographers can submit their own Fujifilm recipes to. So after having a look through their collection, I found 3 recipes and created a little set which I think would be perfect for capturing summer this year with my Fujifilm camera. So the first one is Holly Berry Negative, and it is a warm, punchy, classic negative based recipe. Then there's Heliophile, which is a sun-loving chrome recipe. And then there is High Contrast Black and White, which does exactly what it says on the tin. So in my home supply bag, I've got my Fujifilm camera loaded with these 3 new Fujifilm recipes, which are ready to test. So let's go. Holly Berry Neg is a really cool recipe and I'm really enjoying shooting with it. It kind of reminds me of classic Cuban negative a little bit, but with the clarity turned all the way up. This recipe makes blues look absolutely gorgeous. Although I think shooting with it in this like midday sun, the recipe's maybe a little bit too warm, but I reckon it would work really well if the sun was a little bit lower in the sky, say like sunrise or sunset. So maybe I'll have to give this recipe a try at those times. The word heliophile means attracted to sunlight, and this recipe is definitely that. The colours from the base film simulation classic chrome are really, really shining through. I've been trying to overexpose my shots a little bit like the recipe recommends, and I think it's working out okay because the highlights are set to -1, so there's a bit of protection, and the dynamic range is pushed all the way up to 400. So I don't think my highlights are blowing out even if I'm overexposing the shots. You'll be pleased to hear that the clarity setting for this recipe is 0, so it's really easy to shoot with. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep shooting, so let's go. I'm shooting high contrast black and white as the recipe suggests, and it is strong. I love a punchy look, but this recipe has the contrast turned up to 11. With the dynamic range set at 100, plus 4 clarity, and the highlights and shadows pushed all the way up, it's making it really easy to blow out the highlights with this recipe. So what I'm doing is kind of underexposing a little bit to compensate. I think if I was to make any adjustments to this recipe for shooting with it in the future, I would change the dynamic range from 100 to say 200 or maybe even 400, although it might not be called high contrast black and white then, it would just be like medium contrast black and white. Anyway, this recipe is really fun to shoot with, and it gets you photographing things and looking at things in a different way, which is always a bonus. So there we go, there's 3 recipes from FujifilmSimulations.com tested. Thanks to Thomas, Noah and John Michael for creating these recipes. They were super fun to test out, and they'll be staying on my Fujifilm camera for the next few months for sure. If you're watching this and you have any Fujifilm recipes that you think I should try out in the future, please drop them in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video really soon. I'm off to enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Bye! This recipe makes blues look absolutely gorgeous. This recipe makes